pray for me. Man, this is early for doing a live for most of you. Man, I woke up this morning and just laying there meditating and talking to God, and this was heavy on my mind. So, man, pray for me. You know what I mean? I'm nervous. And not nervous because I'm concerned about what people are going to say. I'm nervous because of the importance of this message. I'm nervous because of the power behind this message. You know what I mean? So it has nothing to do with being scared. It has nothing to do with being afraid of anybody or afraid of what people are gonna say or afraid of the comments or anything of that nature. Nah, I don't get caught up on that. You know what I mean? None of that stuff moves me. You know what I mean? I'm nervous about, man, what's up, Kate? I'm nervous about, man, did I say everything that God wanted me to say? Did I deliver the message the way I was supposed to, in the manner in which I was supposed to? And so that's my concern, you know what I mean? So, man, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Man, family, you can tell by the title, man, we're talking about toxic femininity. You know what I mean? We're gonna go in today. This is gonna be a hard pill for some of our women to accept. It's gonna be a hard pill for some of the guys to accept, because we all have a role in this. You know what I mean? We all play a role in this to some degree, you know? And man, I'm not bashing women, you know, in any way, shape, or form. Man, I've made a video in the past on So You Call Yourself a Man and a King, while women are the guys. Well, man, we're gonna have a heart-to-heart with the women today, you know what I mean? And man, it's gonna be rough for some of you, you know? But the only way to heal and to move beyond the drama and the trauma is to accept the reality for what it is, you know what I mean? To see yourself for how you really are, you know what I mean? What's up, Davita? No more sugarcoating shit, you know? We ain't sugarcoating shit on this one, you know what I mean? We're gonna go in, and man, it's not to be offensive to anybody. It's not to put anybody down. It's, man, we have to grow up, and somebody has to tell us the truth about how we really are. Somebody has to hold up a mirror to us so that we can see ourselves for the way that we really are. And before we get going on that, man, for all of you that come in onto this live, man, I bless you. I thank you. May God bless you. May God continue to reveal himself to you. May God continue to bring peace and joy and abundance into your life. For those of you that watch this video later on, man, may you receive those same blessings. May God continue to reveal himself to you. May you receive those blessings, that joy that passes all understanding, that peace of mind, you know what I mean? That internal happiness. And for all of you, man, may you find the love of your life. That being said, let's get started. We're all aware of the fact that you could take a bunch of apples, a bunch of fruits, and have one bad one. Have one bad fruit, have one bad apple, one bad orange, one bad peach, plum, whatever it is you want, grapes. You could have one bad one and leave it connected to all the others. Leave it in a bag with all the others. And in time, that one bad fruit, that one rotten fruit is going to contaminate and damage and mess up every other fruit in that bag. That one bad grape is going to rot all the other grapes connected to it. That one bad apple, that one bad orange, plum, peach, whatever, is going to rot every other fruit in that bag. Why? Because that's its nature. That's its nature. And so often we think, and we're talking about toxic femininity, so often we think that, man, we've gone through so much. Women, you've gone through so much fucking hell. You don't even realize the damage that hell has done to you. You don't even realize that you've been contaminated. You don't even realize that you're toxic. In every aspect, you're toxic. because you grew up in a toxic environment, you grew up in toxic relationships and all that other crap. You've been abused, sexually violated, talked down to, mistreated, all that other crap. That was normal. That was normal for you. And so you grew up thinking, that's what guys do. That's what other girls do. That's normal. All the crazy thought processes that you have, you think that's normal. You think everybody else have those exact same thoughts. You don't realize how damaged you are. You don't realize how toxic you are. You don't realize how messed up you really are. And so what happens, man, we blame everybody else. And in our society today, it's easy for everybody to blame guys. It's easy for everybody. Guys ain't shit. These sorry ass motherfuckers will do. Well, it's easy for us to go in on guys. Never understanding, man, my baby daddy ain't shit. My other baby daddy ain't shit. Wait, time out. How the fuck, what the fuck is wrong with you that you got multiple baby daddies and all of them ain't shit? What the fuck does that say about you? It's easy for us to sit back and say, the dudes. What the fuck is wrong with your selection? Your process of selecting a guy, your process of choosing a guy to sleep with, that you choosing deadbeat, no good motherfucking dudes. What the fuck does that say about you? What's wrong with your self-esteem to where you're choosing these deadbeats and then you get pissed at them for being a deadbeat? No, time out. Fix you. Stop blaming those dudes for being deadbeats. The problem isn't the dudes because they're deadbeats. The problem is you got fucked up selection process. The problem is you got poor standards. The problem is you got some unresolved shit that's drawing you and attracting you to deadbeat motherfuckers. So what's wrong with you? That you would choose a dude that ain't got no type of job, no type of income, no type of ambition, no type of nothing. All you want to do is sit there, smoke, get high, and drink and just chill out, watch games all day, play video games all day, watch TV all damn day. What the fuck is wrong with you that attracts you? What the hell's wrong with you that attracts you to dudes that's out there cussing and slapping women around, beating on women? What the hell is wrong with you that attracts you to dudes that cheating on their women? You got with your baby daddy while he was with another woman. You knew he was a cheater when you got with him. You knew he had another woman, and you still chose to be that other woman, thinking you could win him over. And now you won him over. Now you want to sit to be mad at him and call him a deadbeat and a loser. We have to understand that we got some issues. When I say we, I'm talking about the women today. You know, this is primarily for the women today. Y'all got some issues. And it's a trip because I got a younger sister. Now, I can't stand her. You know what I mean? I completely cut her off. And she would much rather be around dudes, and she's always been that way. Would much rather be around dudes than around other women. Oh, women ain't shit, and women are messy, and and women are so drama, and and I get along better with guys, and blah, blah, blah. And I had to stop and think about that for a minute. It's like, hold up, time out. What the fuck is wrong with this girl to where she feels more comfortable in an environment around a bunch of dudes than she do her own sisters, than she do around a bunch of women? And she want to blame the women for being messy and trifling and judgmental. No, bitch, that's your fucking issues. That's you projecting on all them other women. Because you got insecurities, because you got some fucked up ways about yourself. You want to look at everybody else and put every other woman in that category. We haven't even got started yet. We're going to go in. We're going to go in today. Family, we have to understand. There's this thing going on in America right now, this toxic ass fucking femininity, where women don't want a fucking strong man. They say they want a strong ass man, somebody that can handle them with the, no you fucking don't. You want a weak ass motherfucking jellyback dude, somebody you can fucking control and manipulate as you fucking wish. Because you can't handle a real man, because real men ain't putting up with your fucking bullshit. A real man ain't putting up with your fucking twisted, psychotic fucking mentality. A real man ain't dealing with your fucking Jezebel spirit of you trying to break his ass down. You trying to fucking emasculate him. Because that's what's going on in America right now. This toxic fucking femininity where these fucking women are out here trying to emasculate strong men and demonize strong men because they ain't controllable. Because I don't give a fuck what you say to me. I don't give a fuck what you think about me. And it's not about me being male chauvinistic or any of that other stuff. I know my fucking lane. I stay in my fucking lane. But what I don't need as a man, I don't need some fucking woman to tell me how to be a fucking man. And you've never been a man. My late wife, God bless her soul, she used to tell her kids or her boys all the time, and they used to piss me off when we'd get in arguments about this. She used to tell her three sons, man, I'm more manly than your dad. I'm more of a man than your dad is. And I said, what the fuck you saying? How the fuck? No, time out. No. You are not more manly than their daddy. You will never be more of a man than their daddy. I understand their dad is sorry. I understand he a deadbeat. I want to beat his fucking ass. But I don't give a fuck how tough you think you are as a woman. You've never been more manly than any man. You'll never be more manly than any man. That's that fucking toxic femininity crap I'm talking about. And the trick is, man, in our society today, we have all these women running around talking, I don't need a fucking man. I could do everything on my own. Okay, well, go do everything on your fucking own. Stop being mad. Stop being angry. Stop being bitter. Stop being resentful. And it's a trick because for the longest time, I used to date this young lady, right? And we was out in California years and years ago. And all these black women in LA, right? And they would see me and this young lady together. And they would be rolling out. They wouldn't say shit. But they would look at her and look her up and down and roll her eyes and just, y'all know how y'all sisters do. When I'm talking about sisters, I'm black women, white women, Hispanic women, everybody. All y'all do the same shit. Y'all look at the woman, y'all look at the dude. If he look good, look like he got his shit together, and you look at her, why the fuck you with her? This sorry ass motherfucking whoop-de-whoop. Man. And so when you sit and you talk about and you look at this woman and you go in on a woman like that and you mistreat a woman like that, and I should tell this young lady, it's like, man, stop tripping off these girls. That's all they are. They're fucking girls. I know they're in grown, quote unquote, women bodies, but they're fucking girl. The reality is they're not happy. If they were happy, they wouldn't give a fuck who you with. These girls don't even know me. They're looking at you sideways. Why? Because they're trying to figure out, why am I with you? When I can have them, I don't want their ratchet, ugly ass. They don't have a chance in hell to pull me. And so they're trying to figure out what the fuck is going on with you and make me want to go with you. Because they're unhappy. Stop trying to deal with their fucking stupid shit. But she was like 4, maybe 5 foot. She had a short man complex, you know what I mean? She wanted to fight everybody. It's like, you can't fight, shut the fuck up. Don't get shot trying to prove how fucking tough you are. Don't get shot out here in fucking LA trying to prove how fucking thugged out you is. Nobody give a fuck about that. You could catch a bullet just like anybody else. We're talking about toxic femininity. And so sisters, man, y'all gotta stop being so fucking hard on each other. Y'all gotta stop going in on each other and being so fucking judgmental. Y'all gotta deal with your fucking issues. Why do you feel the way you feel? Why do you think about guys the way you do? That's all toxic. How come you don't like yourself? How come you don't see yourself as beautiful? How come you don't see yourself as attractive? How come you don't see yourself as having anything other to offer other than your fucking sex, other than your body? Years ago, I was a single parent, and I had 2 kids, my oldest daughter and my son. And I took my daughter to Long Beach to get her hair braided by these Haitians, right? And man, they were gonna put braids in my daughter's hair. And so I dropped my daughter off at a friend's house. And this lady worked at the daycare on the military base. And so I knew this lady real good. And so she was gonna do my daughter's hair. So my son was just gonna hang out on Long Beach while she got her hair done. And so we come back hours later, pick up my daughter. And so Jocelyn comes running to me, hair just nice, just just immaculate, you know what I mean? There's no way in hell I could have did anything like that. There's no way in hell I could have put extensions in her hair or hooked her up like that, right? Just immaculate, right? So she comes running up to me and she gives me this letter, all right? And she's like, this lady gave me this letter. And I'm like, okay, cool. Well, I'm looking at her hand. This lady also gave her a gold ring. And that's my daughter's 6, 7 years old. What the fuck is a grown woman giving a young lady that she don't know, a young girl she don't know, a gold ring, a real 14 karat gold ring? And so I'm looking at this ring and I'm trying to figure out why she got this ring, where she get this ring from. And so the lady did her hair, explained, her friend came over, she saw me drop off, Jocelyn, and so she wanted to meet me and all this other stuff, right? And so she wrote this note. The young lady that I know is telling me that I don't know what's in the note, I don't know what she wrote, I didn't read it, so, man, she wrote something that's between you and her, that ain't got nothing to do with me, Elijah. I'm like, okay, cool, I ain't tripping. And so my daughter's excited about the note. She's like, Daddy, open it. We're talking about toxic femininity. Stay with me. And so my daughter's, Daddy, open it. So I open up the note. And before I can even read the note, it's like 6, 7 pictures, Polaroid pictures of this lady, light-skinned lady, butt-ass fucking naked. Nice body, butt-ass fucking naked. And I'm just looking, I don't even entertain this shit. I throw it in the garbage. My daughter gets butthurt. My daughter is offended. My daughter don't know what's in the note. But she's offended that I threw all of that away. She's offended and she's telling me, Daddy, no, you can't do that. That's so mean. Daddy, get that out the trash. Daddy, that's mean. Why are you so mean? And so I'm looking at my daughter and I'm pissed. I'm looking at my daughter and I'm on one because this motherfucking tramp, this fucking ratchet hood rat gave my daughter a gold ring and a letter with a bunch of Polaroids in it for me. And I'm pissed and I'm angry because I'm like, the fuck? You think that's all I give a fuck about? Is your fucking body? You think that's all that matters to me? Is your fucking body? Okay, you got a nice body, but obviously the motherfucking elevator don't go to the top floor. How the fuck are you gonna give my daughter, this little kid, a note with a bunch of Polaroid pictures and you fucking naked? My daughter could have opened up that note, just been curious and seen those pictures. That's why I'm pissed. Because my daughter would have been put in her head that this is what women do to get a man. You have to sexualize yourself in order to get a man. You gotta show a man the goodies, what he's capable of having. Look, and that's something that she wrote, look what you can have. It's like, bitch, I don't want your fucking ass. Excuse my language, we're going in today. We're going in because that's some trifling shit. We're talking about toxic femininity. And when you look at the society today, you look at all the women that Hollywood glorifies, all the women that Hollywood deems as beauty queens and all this other stuff. Look at every one of them. The great majority of all these women are up showing their fucking body. All these women are up showing all their legs, cleavage hanging out, shorts on, showing the cracks of their ass and all this other bullshit, as if that is what makes a woman a queen, as if that is what makes a woman special, as if that's what brings value to a woman. And so anytime you got to get up on TV or anytime you got to go out in public and you got to have your cleavage all out and you got to show all your legs and you got to show the crack of your ass and all this other stuff. I know you think that's sexy and most dumbass fucking dudes think that shit is sexy too. Most dumbass immature dudes think that shit is fucking sexy. You're never going to catch a fucking man that way. I'm gonna say again, you are not going to catch a man by showing him all the fucking goods like that. Because a man wants to know what's inside your fucking heart. A man wants to know what's inside your mind. A man wants you to make love to him emotionally, mentally, intellectually, spiritually. We don't give a fuck about your goddamn body. Let's keep this shit real. A man don't give a fuck about the body. That's last. Why? Because we understand we could work with that. We understand. Babe, come on, let's go to the gym. Babe, come on, let's do some squats. Come on, babe, let's do some arm curls. Come on, babe, let's do some bench presses. Come on, babe, let's go around on the treadmill. Come, babe, let's go for a walk. Now, God understands, regardless of what your body looks like, that can change drastically, quickly. You could be the most beautiful woman in the world and be fucked up emotionally and can't nobody do shit with you. We're talking about toxic femininity. And the trip is, my late wife, God bless her soul, my late wife, we sat there in the car one day and she was mad. One of the most beautiful women I'd ever met. Just drop dead gorgeous. Man, and she was mad and angry at the world. Why? Because she had stretch marks on her stomach. She had 3 C-sections and she couldn't get that scar to go away. She couldn't get that excess skin down there to go away. Nobody saw that. Nobody saw her belly. Everybody, because she always had clothes on. Everybody saw her beautiful, gorgeous hair. Everybody saw her hue and just her skin color and just how beautiful she was. But she was fucking toxic in the aspect. She had some unresolved shit that stained her. She had some unresolved shit that fucked her up. Nobody gave a fuck about how her belly looked. Everybody saw her walking. It's like, damn, she's fucking fine. Damn, she's fucking gorgeous. But in her mind, it didn't matter how many times you told her she was beautiful. It didn't matter how many times you tried to hold her and let her know that you were vibing with her. Man, she saw her scars. And her scars were unattracted to her. Her scars were a mark of ugliness, a mark of rejection. What's up, Karen? Her scar on her belly, man, that was a damage mark. That was her bruise. That's where she was bruised. That's where she thought she was bruised. She thought if she could change that, she could change everything else about her. If she thought if she could change her belly and her stretch marks, then she would be beautiful. Not even understanding that she was already beautiful. She couldn't even comprehend how people saw her as beautiful because she saw her stomach. We're talking about toxic femininity. And so no matter what people said about her, she was always at war with herself. And this is not to put down Cecilia in any way, shape, or form. I know Cecilia. She will want me to share her story to help sisters grow. She will want me to share her story so that people wouldn't make those same mistakes. And that they would understand, damn, I'm fucking tripping. And what Cecilia had to realize, and it took her getting cancer, getting breast cancer, stage 4 breast cancer, to where her left breast opened up and you could see the meat and all the other crap from the inside. It looked like cauliflower. And then she had a tumor up under her arm that opened up as well. In her armpit that opened up as well, that cauliflowered out. Then she didn't have a problem showing her stomach. Why? Because there's something more devastating than her stomach. And it was the fact that her breast was opened up the way that it did. It was the fact that she knew that she had stage 4 breast cancer and there was nothing anybody could do. It was the fact that the doctors had already said, man, you got 6 months max. If we do radiation, well, we'll do chemotherapy first, then we'll do radiation, and then we'll do surgery. But 6 months max. because it's already spread throughout your entire body. Then the scar in her stomach became insignificant because she realized that she had a bigger battle, or more pressing battle. And so when I'm talking about toxic femininity, I'm talking about women, man, you have to grow up. You got to deal with your shit. And so many women that I talk to, man, they got fucking daddy issues. They daddy ain't been in their life, or they daddy ain't accepted them. They daddy wanted a son, somebody they can hang with. What's up with you? I am Jay. They daddy wanted a boy, and he got you instead. And so many women, they grow up with daddy issues, wanting to please daddy, seeking the validation from daddy. And so what happens, daddy doesn't give it to him. Daddy ain't there, or daddy is there, but daddy ain't got time for your ass. And so what happens, now you grow up and you start looking for the validation from other guys because you never got it from daddy. And so you start using your body and anything and everything you have at your means to get the attention that you never got from your daddy, to get the validation that you should have gotten from your daddy. And so you look at all these dudes and you're looking for a daddy figure in your relationships. That's why a lot of these young girls are looking for older guys. Because they're looking for a daddy figure, somebody that's gonna protect them, somebody that's gonna teach them some stuff, somebody that's gonna take them around and show them some stuff, somebody that's gonna lace them up on some game. They're looking for a daddy figure because they didn't have a daddy figure growing up. And so what happens is you get in these relationships and you looking for your man to do all these things, and your man ain't really trying to do all these things. Your man ain't really got time for all this stuff. Or he does, clarify this, you don't get with a man, you get with a guy. You get with a guy. There's a difference between a man and a guy. You get with guys, you get with dudes. You get with knuckleheads. And they ain't trying to be a daddy figure. They just trying to violate you and get anything and everything they can from you. They trying to use you up. And because you don't understand your worth, you give it to them. Because you don't understand your worth, you do everything that you can to please and appease this knucklehead, this deadbeat. Because you're looking for validation. You're seeking that affirmation from a daddy figure. Why? Because you got unresolved issues. And so again, going back to that piece of fruit, man, that apple, that orange, whatever it is, that one bad fruit will contaminate the whole thing. And so when you look at it, that one thing, man, I need validation from my daddy. I need acceptance from my daddy. I need love from my daddy. I'm not getting it. And so I'm looking for all these guys. Anybody, everybody, just show me some love. Just give me a hug. Just tell me I'm beautiful. Just tell me I matter. Tell me I matter. Tell me I'm important. Tell me you love me. Just hold me. Why? Because I needed that from my daddy, and my daddy didn't give it to me. And because he didn't give it to me, I have this emptiness, this void, this hurt, this pain, this bruise growing within me. Never understanding how that bruise is going to contaminate the rest of my relationships. Never understanding how that bruise is going to play a part in all of my other relationships with other guys. And so what happens is a lot of times, women, you get hurt. You get hurt because you have these issues because you didn't deal with your daddy issues. And so you go into these relationships looking for this daddy figure. And the truth be told, most guys, we go into relationships wanting to find somebody like our mom. Most women, They go into a relationship wanting to find somebody like their daddy. I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty of that. I didn't know who my mom was. And so I'm looking for a mother figure because the aunt who raised me, I couldn't stand her ass. I couldn't stand her. And so, man, I grew up looking for that mother figure. Somebody to remind me of my mom. Somebody to be nurturing to me. Somebody to just hold me. Somebody to just rub my head and let me know it's going to be okay. Somebody to validate me. See, it goes both ways. It goes both ways. And that's why so many of these young dudes running around here today, man, they grew up in this situation, this mentality. They could just sit on their ass and have their woman take care of them because they're looking for a mama figure. Because that's what a mama does. She takes care of her son. And so when you look at a woman, that's what they want. They're looking for a daddy figure. Somebody's going to take care of them. And so when they don't get that, so many women, they become bitter and angry and hostile towards guys. To the point to where they completely flip roles. To where they take on a quote unquote masculine role. To where they quote unquote become hard. They become thugged out. They become hoes. And so what happens is you got all these women who needed a daddy figure and their daddy was gone. Their daddy wasn't nowhere around, or their daddy wasn't able to provide what those girls needed. If anything, he probably made their problems worse because he rejected them. He probably made them worse because he chose alcohol. He probably made it worse because he chose another woman over their mom. Or he was in church, but he chose to spend time with all those other people instead of his family. And it's crazy because I made a video about this a long time ago about Erik Erikson, man, the great psychologist. The great psychologist. Man, he wrote so much in regards to child psychology. A phenom at child psychology. Erik Erikson's daughter grew up and became a psychiatrist, and she wrote in a paper, man, my father can solve everybody else's problems. My father had the answers to fix every other kid's problems. My father would sit there late at night and just writing up theses and writing on papers and lectures and planning this speech and this book and this, and he's doing all this stuff. He didn't have time for his kids because he thought we lived in the house with him and our mom that we were okay. He thought that we didn't have any problems. He thought that we grew up, what's up, Miss Lady Sade? He thought that we grew up in a healthy environment. But I needed my daddy to play with. I needed my daddy to spend time with me. I needed my daddy to hold me and to validate me and to love me. And my daddy was out saving the world. My daddy was out giving lectures. My daddy was out giving speeches and entertaining the world. And so while you see my daddy as this great, phenomenal man, while you see my daddy as this beacon of a great father figure, as you see my dad at all these beautiful accolades, I remember the emptiness. I remember the loneliness. I remember wanting to play with him, but him being too busy. I remember wanting to talk with him and to spend time with him, but he was always busy. And so the psychiatrist is world-renowned psychiatrist who's traveled all over the world, speaking and lecturing, and people still talk about him in psychology today. We still study his material today. That's how great this guy's mind was in regards to child psychology. But he couldn't understand that his kids needed the same thing. He couldn't understand that his daughter needed the same thing. And so his daughter got into psychiatry, started studying psychology. You know why? To fill the void within her of not having her daddy. And so women, y'all do so many different things to fill that emptiness. So many women, man, you go to church any Sunday and it's filled with women. Churches all across the world are filled with women. Single women looking for a man. Single women praying for a godly man. What's up, Scott? Single women wishing that God would bless them with a man. All over America. You look at education, man, educate black women, Hispanic women, white women, man, they drove to education. Man, they're in education, higher learning, man, they're doctors and all this other stuff. Why? Because they have a void. They have an emptiness. And so often we try to fill that emptiness, that void with something. And I know all you religious fanatics can get on here. Well, you gotta fill it with Jesus. Well, you motherfuckers have been with Jesus for 20, 30, fucking 40 years, and you still got the same fucking issues. Jesus ain't resolved your fucking childhood issues. You still carry them. And most of the time you got more issues because you're more judgmental now. You're less tolerant now. You're less accepting now. You're less loving now. So don't come to me with the Jesus shit. And no disrespect, you know what I mean? No disrespect intended. I'm sick and tired of motherfuckers being so religious. They're so dogmatic and ignorant at the same time. The reality is you're looking for something to fill that fucking void. You're looking for something to fill that freaking emptiness. And so whether you use your education, and I had it, my younger kids' mom, and she has her master's degree. She's a registered nurse. And she's told me the stupid shit. Oh, you black men, y'all just can't deal with no educated black woman. It's like, no, we just ain't dealing with your stupid, ignorant fucking asses. You motherfuckers so fucking smart, so fucking intelligent, so fucking independent, you don't even know how to be a fucking woman. You don't even know how to be a lady. And it's crazy because in this society now, it's an insult to call a woman a lady. Don't nobody want to be a lady anymore. Don't no woman want to be a lady anymore. Man, y'all calling each other bitches and hoes and skanks and tramps and all kind of stupid, disrespectful shit. This is how y'all talk to each other. Oh, that's my bitch right there. Come here, bitch. I love you, bitch. I love you, hoe. I love you, cunt. Oh, you my boo. Y'all doing this stupid shit. And then you get mad when a dude calls you a bitch. Then you get mad when a dude calls you a fucking hoe. Then you get mad and get all sensitive when a dude calls you a skank and a tramp. But y'all call each other hoes and bitches and skanks and tramps. That's my nigga. And I hate that fucking word. That's my nigga. Come here, nigga. Y'all disrespect every time y'all fucking open your mouth with each other. And then you get mad because a dude, you say a dude won't respect you. You ain't respecting your fucking self. Let alone another sister. When I say sister, it's not black, it's woman, okay? Y'all disrespect each other. And then get butthurt and want to get all over on TV and on social media and talk about some dude disrespecting y'all. I understand that this is a male-dominated society. I get that. I get that. I get that. I understand that. Women, let me tell you something. Let me tell you the power that you have. The power that you have is not between your fucking legs, like these ignorant dudes have got you twisted in believing. The power that you possess is not your breast. It's not your fucking mouth and your lips. It's not how curved your ass is. That's not the fucking power you possess. That's some stupid shit that they told y'all. And you dumb motherfuckers have bought into that shit. And you've sexualized yourselves. You sold your souls to be appeased, to be attracted to some fucking dudes. You're not attracting a man. You're attracting dudes. You're attracting dudes. Because a real man, here we go, a real man, he wants that freaky side of you. He do. I promise you, we do. A real man, oh, he wants you to be a skank in the bed with him and him alone. A real man, he wants you to be trampy and nasty and skanky and all that other shit in the bed with him and him alone. But a real man also understands, man, when we go out in public, man, I'm conservative. When we go in public, my woman, my queen, my boo, my bae, whatever, man, she's conservative. Nobody has to know what goes on in our bedroom. Nobody has to know what we do behind closed doors. That's nobody's business. As soon as we get in the house, we be tearing shit up and just going to work. But as soon as we got company, man, I'm straight laced. As soon as we walk out in public, man, she's straight laced. She's covered up. Why? Because there is a difference between a man and a boy, a man and a dude, a man and a guy. A guy wants to show the whole world, look at this is my trophy, look at her titties, look at her ass, look at it. That's a fucking dude. That's a fucking dude. That's a guy. That's a boy in a quote unquote grown man's body. A real man. A real man. He ain't putting up with no bullshit like that. A real man ain't letting his woman walk out the house half fucking naked. I'll give a fuck what you women talk about. Well, he's controlling. No, motherfucker. If you represent me, I represent you. If we represent each other, what the fuck are you walking out here half naked for? What the fuck are you walking out here showing everybody your gifts for? What the fuck are you trying to catch? If I'm the person you're supposed to be satisfying, if I'm the person that you're supposed to be like, man, I just want my man to see what I'm working with, why the fuck are you showing it to everybody else? If I'm all you interested in, if I'm all, that's all mine and mine alone, why the fuck are you trying to share it to everybody else? Show everybody else. We have to grow up. We have to grow up. We have to grow up and understand that, man, toxic femininity is a real fucking thing. You can look at Jada Pinkett, you can look at Beyonce, you can look at a whole bunch of these fucking women, and I know you women love the fuck out of their asses. And to each their own, I don't give a fuck, you know what I mean? But understand something. Understand something. Those same people that you put up on those platforms, those same women that you elevate to the status of, man, that's how I want to be, and woo-doo, that's successful, and that's a queen, and woo-doo-doo, what the fuck are they showing you? What the fuck are they showing your daughters? That it's okay for you to be out in public half fucking naked. Because that shit ain't cool. And see, a real man, a real father, he knows. Oh, hell no. A real woman, a real queen, she knows. Oh, hell no. I'm not letting my daughters walk out there like that. Why? Because I know there's fucking predators out there. I know there are fucking savages out there that don't give a damn about her age. And the first opportunity they get, they're gonna do some shit to her. And so I can't have her dressed up like that. I can't have her going out looking like she's grown and she's only 9 years old. I can't have her going out looking like a harlot, like a prostitute, like a hoe at 10 years old. At 14 years old, looking like she's 25. Why? Because I value my daughter. Because I love my daughter. So I'm gonna have to tell her and lace her up with some game. And the game is, there's a whole lot of motherfuckers out here that don't give a damn about you. They're gonna tell you, man, it's your body. Do with it what you will. It's your body. Show it off if you want to. That's your body. That's your freedom. But they ain't telling you the fucking shit that go along with it. They ain't telling you about the fucking stalkers and rapists and pedophiles that go along with that. And so, women, man, there's a whole lot of toxic femininity out there. There's a whole lot of Jezebel spirits out there. A whole lot of fucking women trying to control men because they've been hurt, because they've been damaged. And because they've been damaged, man, they're gonna do everything in their power not to be damaged again. They're gonna do everything in their power not to get hurt again. And so if that means that they have to become more quote unquote manly so that they don't get hurt again, then that's what they do. If that means that they have to start manipulating a dude to get what they want, then that's what they're gonna do. And there's a whole lot of women running around talking about, well, you can't have no kitty cat, and I'm not gonna give you no blowjob, and I'm not gonna do because you ain't acting right. You using your body as a fucking tool. That's some get back. That's not what a fucking queen does. That's what fucking skanks and hoes do. You're minimizing yourself. But because you don't understand the emotional manipulation that you're playing, and some of you do, to each their own. We're talking about toxic femininity. Because he didn't buy you what you wanted, because he won't take you where you want to go. Oh, now he got to sleep on the fucking couch. Oh, now he can't have no kitty tonight. I'm putting him on restriction. We're talking about the power that you have, women. The power that you have is not in your sexuality. That's what these guys got you thinking. Why? So that you could keep playing their fucking game. So that you keep sexualizing yourselves. The power that you possess is not in your sexuality. The power that you possess is in your spirituality. I'm gonna say it again. The power that you possess, America, Western civilization, has us thinking that the power of the woman lies between her legs, or lies on her breast, or there her breast, or what she could do with her mouth, or how nice and round her ass is. That's superficial, stupid bullshit for superficial people. And again, if that's the game you caught up in, man, to each their own, do you? You know what I mean? Do you? Understand you're fucking toxic. Understand that this is what you are, this is how you think as a woman, that man, you gotta round out and make your titties all perky and all that shit, and curve up your ass and get ass plants and lip plants and titty implants and all that. If that's what you have to do to catch a man, you're not catching no fucking man. Because that's not where your power's at. They tell you guys this stupid shit. They glamorize this stupid shit with all these fucking entertainers. Why? So you think you gotta look like Beyonce. So you think you gotta look like Rihanna. So you think you gotta look like all these other motherfuckers out here showing their fucking body. No. That's not what a queen does. That's not what a queen does. That's not what a lady does. It's a trip because we're quick to say, man, there ain't no men left in the world then. Ain't no fucking women, ain't no fucking ladies left in the world then. You know what I mean? It goes both ways, women. You can't have it both ways. You can't be blasting dudes and say ain't no fucking real men. Because we could say the same thing about y'all as ladies. Man, and so we have to understand that we got to deal with our shit, first and foremost. Guys, women, we have to deal with our shit. We have to deal with our shit. Dudes, man, you have to understand that, man, you are vital to the emotional well-being of your daughters. And if you're not in your daughter's life, if you're not an active participant in your daughter, spending time with her, showing her how beautiful she is, telling her how beautiful she is, how smart she is, and just doing different things with her, getting down on the floor, playing Barbies, playing Jacks, whatever it is you got to do with your daughter. If you're not doing that with your daughter, you're setting your daughter up for some fucking major issues in life. I don't give a fuck how much money you give her mama. I don't give a fuck how much you buy her. If you're not spending the quality time emotionally, intellectually, spiritually with your daughter, you're fucking setting her up to be broken and used and abused by a bunch of dudes. And so guys, you have to understand that you play a pivotal role in this toxic femininity shit. You do. How do we go from being toxic as guys and as women? How do guys become a man? How do guys become the king that they're supposed to be? How do women become the ladies and the queens that they're supposed to? Glad you asked. First and foremost, you have to acknowledge the fact. You have to acknowledge the fact you have some fucked up ways. You have to acknowledge the fact that you got some things in your ego, in your mind, that's unhealthy. That's toxic. That's keeping you from being the man that you're capable of being. That's keeping you from being the king that you're capable of being. That's keeping you from being the lady that you're capable of being. That's keeping you from being the queen that you're capable of being. See, it don't matter how much fucking education you have. There's a whole lot of sisters running around education and miserable as fuck because they can't get a guy and they can't keep a guy because a guy ain't giving a fuck about your fucking education for the most part. Again, get your shit straight. You know what I mean? Everybody want to be in a relationship, but don't nobody want to do the fucking work to get in a relationship. Everybody wants somebody, a happy couple, and and go on trips with somebody and be in love and blah, blah. But nobody wants to do the fucking work to deal with their shit so that once God brings them the king and the queen for them, they're ready emotionally, intellectually, spiritually, financially to handle that shit. And so, man, we gotta grow the fuck up. We have to grow up. Talking about toxic femininity. And women, y'all gotta grow the fuck up. I know y'all think y'all fucking woke. And that's part of the fucking problem. You think you woke. You think you fucking educated. You think you fucking smart. And you're fucking stuck on stupid. You looking at everybody else's issue. I'm sharing this with you. Women, when you look at the markets, when you look at, how can I say this? When you look at how these companies sell stuff, how they market stuff, 9 times out of the 10, they always target the woman. Think about this for a second. When you look at all the advertisements, and anybody that's in advertisement, they know exactly what I'm talking about. They could verify everything I'm talking about and put some more on it, you know what I mean? I've just studied it a little bit, you know what I mean? But anybody that's in advertisement, Now, I'm not talking about you on a fucking commercial or some stupid shit like that, but anybody that studies advertisements understand that there is a psychological marketing campaign for every fucking commercial that comes out. There is a psychological marketing bracket or campaign that they undertake. Why? Because they know, man, we have to target the women for the most part. Why? Because the women are going to spend the money. The women are going to buy it. They're going to spend the money. They're going to spend the money. And these people understand that in order to get guys to spend money, they got to target the women. They have to target the women. We're wired different. And so when you look at all these advertisements, we're talking about toxic femininity. When you look at all these advertisements, man, it's all about the woman. How does this appeal to a woman? Do women like this? Would this appeal to these women? Psychology. They're manipulating you. And we don't even catch that. When you look at the cartoons now, man, and you can Google this, get on YouTube, Google, look it up, man. In the cartoons for kids, there's subliminal messages in them. There are subliminal messages in the cartoons for kids. Why? Because they understand the psychology. And so, women, you have to understand that you've been played. You've been played. And the trick, man, I'm gonna show you guys something. Aaron Russo, look him up. Aaron Russo, AARONRUSSO. He's the guy that created, or he was the director or something like that for some of Eddie Murphy's biggest movies, okay? And so he was a producer, Aaron Russo, just like that. Yes, thanks, babe. Man, he put out some videos, all right? He put out some documentaries, okay? And I can't remember the name of one of the documentaries. I had to look it up. But one of the documentaries, he was talking about how that, because he was up and coming, you know, this big filmmaker and all this, working with Eddie Murphy and all this other stuff, right? And so one of the Rockefellers had reached out to him to befriend him. One of the powers to be, one of the quote unquote Illuminati or makers and movers and shakers, all that, right? Well-to-do family, deep pockets, right? These people make stuff happen. And so he reached out to Aaron Russo and was like, man, let's spend some time, come talk to me, hang out with me, we'll do it. And so it goes on to talk about, man, and Aaron Russo was killed for revealing all this information. They killed him for telling everybody this stuff in this video, right? In this documentary. And what he said was the women's movement in America wasn't even the women's movement. Stay with me. We're talking about toxic femininity. The women's movement wasn't even for the sake of the women's liberation. So what he said was, man, again, put everything in perspective, put everything in its proper sequence. Again, you got the war going on, right? And so most women know, and they've heard about this lady called Rosie the Riveter, whatever her name is, something to that effect, right? They don't even understand the fact that the Rockefellers, the powers to be, they saw this little spark of women, and they had an idea. Understand the time. The great majority of women was not working. The men worked. The women stayed at home. We're talking about toxic femininity. I'm gonna show you how subtle it is. I'm gonna show you how manipulative it is. I'm gonna show you how sneaky it is. And it's all a game. And you've been played. You've been bamboozled. You've been hoodwinked. You've been led astray. Okay? I know you swear to God you woke because you're feminist. I know you swear to God you woke because you're all into women's lib and all this other bullshit. I'm going to show you how much they manipulated you. And so this guy, I want to say his name was Nick Rockefeller, he was talking to Aaron Russo, and he told him, he's like, man, we run everything. We run everything. We tell people what to think and how to think. And so when you look at the music, when you look at the advertisements, and you look at the movies and the shows that they put on TV, man, that's all part of the manipulation. Nothing comes on the airways. No song is ever played on the airways unless they sanction it. So, this guy, Nick Rockefeller, he's talking to Aaron Russo, and he's telling us, like, look, we pushed the women's lib movement. We financed the women's liberation. And Aaron's like, why would you do that? He said, what do you care? Why are you worried about them? They're useless eaters. Why are you worried about them? And so he said, check this out. Aaron Russo said, Rockefeller said, look, we sent the guys to war. Think about this. This is what they did. They sent the guys to war and then told the women, go to work. Your country needs you. Your men need you. They played on that nationalism. They played on that loyalty to your man. Oh, you're married. Go get you a job. Go work in a factory. Your husband needs you to work in these factories while he's off to war. Your son needs you to work in these factories to make this equipment while they're off to war. And because of your love for your family, because of your love for your country, man, you're going to do your part because all these soldiers, all these men are out doing their part. And so you're going to do your part. And so all these women are running out to the work, to the job markets. Stay with me. And put it in perspective. Guys up until that point, for the most part, were dogmatic. Guys up until that point, for the most part, in marriages and relationships, were fucking up. They were fucking up. They were cheating on their woman, cheating on their wives, doing all kinds of stupid shit. And women couldn't do anything about it because they didn't have any money coming in. The man went to work. The woman was at home taking care of the kids. So she had to be dependent on him. Even though he was fucking up, she had to be dependent on him. And so now with all the guys gone to war and these people pushing the woman's lip, man, I could go out and get a job. I don't have to be dependent on a man. I can make my own money. I don't have to do with his drunk ass. I don't have to do with his abusive ass. That's a win-win. And so these women jumped on, not even understanding the fact that the Rockefellers was pushing this. Why? And so you had all these things coming out. Man, declare your liberation, burn your flags. I'm not flags, burn your bras. And so when you look at the bra burning movement, you look at all this other bullshit going on. Why? Women declaring their freedom. Women trying to be equal to men. And women have been trying to be equal to men for the longest. And you've tried to be equal to men so fucking far that you've forgotten the fact that you're a fucking lady. You stopped being a lady because you've been trying to be equal to a fucking dude. And the trip is, if we're honest with ourselves, the great majority of women are stronger than guys emotionally. We don't want to deal with that. We don't want to acknowledge that. We don't want nothing to do with that shit. And so guys talk about how strong they are physically and how weak women are physically. But they never talk about the fact that women have cycles. They never talk about the fact that women have cramps. They never talk about the fact that women give birth to 8 and 9 pound fucking rugrats that come spewing out of them 24, 25, 26, 30 inches long. That ain't no shit that no guy could do. And so we dismiss that aspect. And so women, y'all been trying to be equal to us as men, to the point where you started acting like a fucking guy. To the part you started taking on the part of shaving your fucking head to look like a dude. To the part you start dressing like a fucking dude. Big ass fucking jeans, big ass shirts, and all this other bullshit. And so what the Rockefellers were saying, that's like, hey, we're gonna send the guys to war. We're gonna tax them while they're at war. We're gonna take all these women out the house. And we're gonna put all these women in jobs, all these women in works. Why? Not because we give a fuck about these women. The Rockefellers didn't give a fuck about you useless eaters. That's how they saw y'all. Y'all fucking deadbeats. We're gonna rape and pillage y'all. We're gonna suck you fucking dry. And that's what they did. What do I mean? What am I talking about? Man, they took all the women out of their homes and put them in church, not church, excuse me. They put them in workplaces. So now you got all these women working. Why? For the sole purpose, not sole purpose, there's multiple reasons why they did it. For the purpose of taxing the fuck out of the women. Understand, there are always more women than there are men. There are always more women than there are guys. It is what it is. There are more women on this planet. There are more women in this country than there are guys. It's always been that way. And so when you look at the Rockefellers and what they're talking about, it's like, man, we're only taxing the guys because only the guys are making money. We got to get these women out here so we can start fucking taxing them too. Look at all this money we're not collecting. Look at all this money we're not collecting. Why? Because we got more than half of the population sitting their ass at home. Been dependent on some dude. We could go in, we could break up the family structure, we could fuck up the kids and start indoctrinating the kids. We could get these women and have them fucking at war with the guys and understand the powers that be is always going to divide and conquer. It's always going to be divide and conquer. And so they got all these women pushing this women's lib movement and the Rockefellers are financing it. Why? Because they want this to take place. Why? Not because they give a fuck about your freedom or your liberation. They want to tax the fuck out of you. Number one. Number two, now that you're out there, now the women and the guys are at war with each other. Now you got this divide between guys and females in competition, who's better than, and all this other stupid shit. Guys seeing women as their enemy, as a competitor. Women seeing guys as a competitor. And so you got all these factors going on, dividing the guys and the women. Who's better? Who's smarter? Now, who's raising the fucking kids? With the women out of the houses, who's raising these little badass kids growing up? And the truth is, the television programming was raising the kids. And that's why it's called television programming. They're telling you their fucking vision and they're programming your dumb asses. They're always going to tell you what they're doing. They're always going to tell you what they're doing. We just don't care. We're completely oblivious because we swear we're so fucking woke. We swear we're so fucking enlightened. And so, man, now the TV is programming these kids. And so when you look at what's going on now, man, all these people on TV, these entertainers, these people on TV have far more influence over these young kids than their mom and dad, who's quote unquote financially raising them. These young kids growing up in these households, they're on social media. They have their parents who they deem as old-fashioned, out of date, not hip, don't know what the fuck is going on. They're clueless. And they got all these young people on social media who have far more influence over kids than their own parents. And so when we talk about toxic femininity, man, we have to get to the understanding that, man, we have to grow up. We have to understand that we're not at war with each other, that we should not be at war with each other. We should not be arguing and fighting with each other on what fucking gender you belong to. We should not be at war and arguing and fighting over who's smarter, who's better, who's more spiritual, who's more this. Well, that's bullshit. Those are distractions fed to us to keep us dumbed down, to keep us entertained. And when you look at Rome, ancient Rome, they created this Colosseum. Why? Because they understood something, and it's the exact same fucking thing going on today. Stay with me. Rome created this Colosseum, and they had all these gladiators, had all these fights, and all this other stuff, and all these events. Why? To keep the people distracted, to keep the people entertained. Because if we could keep you focused on this, if we could keep you entertained with this, if we could keep you distracted with this, you're not paying attention to what's really important. And that's what's going on today. The great majority of all the fucking drama shit on TV, the reality shit, it's all fucking women. For the most part. You got some dudes on there too. But for the most part, it's women. Why? Because there are more women than there are guys. And the reality is, they know that the women are going to manipulate and control their households. And the guys are going to start watching what the women watch. The kids are going to grow up watching what the kids do. Excuse me, the kids are going to grow up watching what the women watch. So you got all these stupid ass reality shows, all these trifling ass shit on TV. The music is trifling and petty and stupid to keep us dumbed down, to keep us at war with each other, to keep us from resolving our issues. So, man, this is a lot longer than I planned to talking at, man. Family, we have to grow up. We have to understand the times that we're living in. We have to understand everything ain't the way that it appears. You know what I mean? It's not the way that it really appears. Man, stop being fixated with all these fucking entertainers. I don't give a fuck who they are. They have a job to do. And their job is to keep you fucking distracted. Their job is to keep you stuck on stupid. You got to deal with your issues. You have to deal with your issues. You have to understand why you think the way you think. Why do you look for this in a woman? Why do you look for that in a guy? Women, if you got daddy issues, unresolved daddy issues, you're gonna have to fix that. You're gonna have to fix that. Because if you don't fix that, that's gonna fuck you up. That's gonna fuck up all your relationships, not just your relationships with other guys. That's gonna bleed into your relationships with your sons. That's gonna bleed into your relationships with your daughters. And you're gonna pass that negative, toxic ass shit, those toxic ass fucking traits and genes onto the next generation. And that's how we get these fucking generational curses. Because somebody went through some shit that they didn't fucking resolve. They didn't fucking come to grips with. They didn't fucking deal with. And so they just took it as, oh, this is normal. This is what we do. This is what we go through. We'll do. And man, we just pass it on to the next generation. And they got to go through the exact same shit, if not worse. And they don't deal with their shit because nobody's telling them, man, deal with your fucking shit. Nobody's showing them how to deal with their fucking shit. And so they're passing it on to the next generation and to the next generation. We have to grow the fuck up and break the fucking cycle. We have to break the cycle. Man, I have this belief system. Man, we can't afford to lose another one. We cannot afford to lose another generation. I can't afford to lose any more family members to the fucking penitentiary. I can't afford to lose any more fucking family members to the fucking dope scene. We can't afford to lose no more kids to the fucking banging and slanging on the streets. All the violence, we can't afford to lose any more. So if that means that I got a man to fuck up, if that means you got a woman to fuck up and deal with your shit, so that you can reach back and try to help those coming behind you, man, you better grow the fuck up. Because if we don't grow the fuck up and deal with our shit, it's going to get magnified. The shit that's going on now is going to get a whole lot fucking worse. 30 years ago, 40 years ago, I'm 52, 40 years ago, we'd have never imagined that the great majority of dudes would be walking around with pants hanging down their fucking ass. And that'd be a thugged out thing to do. That'd be a manly thing to do. That'd be a cool thing to do. Ain't nothing fucking manly about you walking around showing your drawers to some dudes or anybody on the streets. Ain't nothing masculine about that. Ain't nothing kingly about that. Ain't nothing manly about that. Ain't nothing hood about that. Ain't nothing gangster about that bullshit. We got women walking around doing the same thing. We got women walking around dressing just like a fucking dude. Talking, acting just like a fucking dude. It is what it is. It is what it is. You know what I mean? To each their own. To each their own. I don't have a heaven or hell to put anybody in. You know what I mean? I'm just here pouring out my heart. I'm just here, man, trying to share a message with you guys. We have to deal with our stuff. We have to deal with our issues. And women, man, I feel for y'all. I feel for y'all because y'all have caught so much fucking hell. You know what I mean? And y'all catch so much fucking hell. And they give y'all so much fucking hell because, man, they understand how fucking strong you really are. You don't realize how fucking strong you are. You don't realize how powerful you are. Your power does not lie within your kitty cat, your vagina, whatever it is you want to call it. Your power does not reside within your ass or your titties or your mouth. Your power lies within your spiritual being. I'm not talking about fucking religion. Your spiritual being. And you can only get to your spiritual being by resolving this up here. Dealing with your ego. Dealing with your trauma and your drama. I see and I hear so many women who swear to God they fucking woke. So many women who swear to God they're fucking spiritual. They've been on the spiritual journey 40, 50 years and they're just as fucking negative and toxic and judgmental and self-righteous and hateful and whoop-de-whoop-de as everybody else. You know what I mean? But because they read tarot cards, oracle cards, charms, pendulums, and all this stuff, the angel cards and all this other stuff, and because they're connected, they could do, you know, channeling and all this other, they're fucking woke, they're fucking spiritual. Again, you know what I mean? I'm not here to judge anyone. I'm just a voice out in the woods, in the wilderness, crying out, hey, we gotta grow up. We have to change. But see, the problem is we expect everybody else around us to change. We're demanding that everybody else change, never understanding that we're the ones that has to change. The change has to begin within us. Family. Man, I know this has been early. I normally don't do lives this early, but man, I thank you guys for being here. I bless you guys for being here. Man, may you guys have a beautiful weekend. Happy healing. Peace. I love you.